course, greetings to our wonderful viewers wherever you are. Welcome back again to Sport 360. But we call this Sport 360 special because this comes a special for a special time. As usual, the Sport 360 Live is always broadcast and comes on Sunday, but this is an urgency. Why? Because once again, a reminder that this is Atlantic TV, the home of TV Revolution, and the little smiling coast of Africa, with Gambia, and the West Coast region side of Gambia that is here in Farato. We bring this to talk about the well-prepared final that is coming up by the West Coast Region Football Association on their third division qualifiers. And of course, it's coming up this Saturday coming. And we have to talk about it and the preparation towards it. With me here is part of the media officer or the media crew or the press officer for the West Coast Region Football Association, Mr. Lamin Jarra. I call him Ink for his writing ability. Jarra, welcome to this special edition of Special Sport 360 Live.
Oh, thank you very much. Of course, it's another pleasure yet again to be back and to be part of this Atlantic TV, programs. I said it over and over. When Big Sam calls, you always have to leave what you are doing and rush out there. And even though this was prompt, we are elated that you have given us this opportunity.
Thank you very much, viewers. And it's about the West Coast Region Zonal Football Association or Regional Football Association. The final is scheduled for this Saturday coming at the Brickham Boxman Mini Stadium. Like I said, Lamin Jarra is the media officer, one of the media officer of the Regional Football of West Coast. Jarra, this is the third division finals coming up. Of course, the very well and attended and a mouth-watering game was played last weekend, the semi-final, and now we have the final coming on Saturday. Take us through to the modalities of this 2025 championship before we talk about the semi-final and the preparation for the finals.
Yeah, 2025 in West Coast had been a remarkable year because you look at what has happened in terms of publicity, in terms of playing good football, in terms of teams traveling out there, in terms of people coming out to definitely follow their team. I think there has been a dramatic twist and people have kind of taken ownership of what their teams and what their communities are doing. And you look at this 2025, it started in January on the 18th, when match day one was played because the draws were made sometime in December. At least there was that gracing period for teams to prepare and go inside a new season to go and battle out with other teams in search of trying to qualify and go as far as their energy can carry them. You look at it this year, it was 24 teams that have come in. After the eliminations or the qualifiers, we had two new teams. That was Dreamers from Jalambang and of course and Fonyi Heroes from Fonyi, who came in and joined the other 22 teams. And remarkably, they were put in two groups of 12, and each group there were 24 teams altogether, and each group had 12 teams. And then in Group A was where the big guns were. It was the group of death, where you had Misira, you have Berewuleng, you have Gambinos, you have Sanyang, you have Marakisa. They were all there. The big guns. They were all in Group A, and even Jam City were there. And then when you go to Group B, you have Sibanor, who were, to me, yes, the highest ranked team in the division. Looking at it, they were just penalty shootout away from going to the playoffs and possibly to the second division. So they had come back to the division, and therefore they have to be the biggest boys of the division. And then you had Kunkujam Friends, who have been outstanding. Fonyi Heroes, the debutants, that gave us a Fonyi derby, in that group. That was Group B. And of course, of the early pace setters year in, year out, these are used from, Sukuta, is it, or from Burfoot. Last year they started well. Up to the last three games, they fell short. This year again, they were the early pace setters. Up to the last 2 games, they fell short. So at the end of the day, there were a lot of competitions in and around Group A and Group B, in general and in the division in particular. At the end of the day, it's the league format. You have to play 11 games. The top 2 will go automatically for the playoffs. And of course, after all said and done in Group A, Misira won the group with 21 points, followed by Gambinos 20. And of course, in Group B, it was Sibanor who won the group with 23 points and 10 goal difference. And of course, second place came Kunkujam Friends in there. So we had a semi-final over the weekend because the winners of Group A will always play the runners-up of Group B. And of course, the winners of Group B will play the runners-up of Group A. But again, all in all, it was a good league format because, coming into it, especially in the last group games, in Group A in particular, was everybody talked about it. You look at it, Misira were there already. Then we had 5 teams that battled it out for the final spot. And in the end, Gambinos who knew that, they had to play second place Sanyang, away from home. They knew it was going to be very difficult, but they had their destiny inside their own hands, and they went to Sanyang. They were a goal down at halftime. Somehow they leveled it and went on to win it remarkably in the second half, in the 91st minute. That gave them the automatic second spot. Although there were a lot of twists and turns, at the end, Sukuta, were relegated in that group. And in Group B, it was Falonko Real Estate, who were also relegated out there. And Kunkujam Friends and Sibanor who won the group and finished second respectively.
Wow, what a very wonderful one. It's surprising that the big guns that are in Group B, was it, right?
Group A.
Group A, none of the team couldn't find themselves in the finals, which we'll talk about. I mean, it's from Group B that make their way to, and that amazing. Oh, what went out there?
Yeah, normally these things happen even in world football, in tournaments generally. Although in a league, they have to play. Everybody has to play one another.
Yeah.
But again, when you are in a group of death, every game is a final. And as the league grows older, you kind of run out of steam, out of energy, and out of gas because in a group of death, all big guns will kill one another in the group, and therefore nobody goes out alive. So probably they can be forgiven. We have seen this even in World Cups.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, in the group of death, the highest team will just go to the round of 16 and go out because of the number of games and difficult games they have played within the group. And again, that's right. You look at Group A. When the draw was made, everybody was like, "Here is where the champions are going to come out of." Or at least the finalists will come out of this group. But then at the end of the day, they went there, they cancel out one another because, like you said, Gambinos and Sanyang cancel out each other. And for that being the case, Jam City Berewuleng, they all went out. And Misira, reaching the semi-final has been in their DNA. If there is a team in the division that knows how to arrive there, it's them. So that was it. And at the end of the day, Group B, where it was, you feel very okay. Sibanor have been the biggest boys of the division. They enjoyed themselves. They only lost 2 games there. One of them was on March Day 1 against, Kunkujam Friends, and they won it with 23 points, the same as last year. Last year they got 23 points and a goal difference of +10. This year again they had 23 points and a goal difference of +10. So that means there is that consistency. And Kunkujam Friends somehow beat Desayus to second spot in a game that mattered most. It was Kunkujam Friends start, Desayus second, going into the penultimate game of the round, and Kunkujam Friends knew that this was the perfect opportunity, and they capitalized and won and leapfrogged Desayus. So in the final group game, Desayus had to win their game and hope that Kunkujam Friends don't. But in this division, nothing is certain. You have to have your destiny in your own hands, and that was what Kunkujam Friends had in the final day, and that was enough to take them through.
Wow, quite amazing. Let's now talk about, because last weekend was a very tight one. Although you and I were all out there at the finals, as you remember, they were here. that is the region, Como Central 2. But the weekend was so hot. First and foremost, how many teams make it to this? 4. Can you name all the two from each group?
Yeah, in Group A, it was Misira who won the group, and then Gambinos finished second. And in Group B, it was Sibanor who won the group, and then Kunkujan Friends finished second. So that automatically means that in the semi-final, it was Misira who won the group in Group A against runners-up in Group B, which was Kunkujan Friends.
Okay.
And Sibanor, who are group winners, played against the runners-up in Group A, which was Gambinos on Sunday. So on Saturday, it was like this at the box bar.
That's the semi-finals.
Yeah, Misira.
Okay.
Misira played Kunkujan Friends, and then Sibanor played Gambinos on Sunday.
So how was the atmosphere of the weekend?
Yeah, the atmosphere absolutely outstanding. It was just, that's why we said West Coast 2025 will go down in folklore as one of the best ever.
Tales.
Yeah, because normally, people don't follow the third division. People cannot tell you which team is playing, who is what and what here, But then this year that has changed. Community teams, people have come in, they have taken ownership. They've taken ownership. They have followed their teams from every part of West Coast where they travel. They've gone to watch matches, and you look at the Saturday game. The atmosphere was absolutely electric. We did have a media campaign or a media tour to go right down to Fonyi, to Mandina Ring, where you have Gambinos. We went to Kunkujang, we went to Misira, we visited all the training grounds, we went deep inside the communities, we talked to people, neutrals, and that kind of helped to
bring that crowd.
To bring the crowd, and the thing went, booming in the atmosphere. And you look at it, you would have never predicted that there will be a third division game in West Coast that's going to pull a crowd like that, especially on Sunday. We know Misira have been there for 3 consecutive years, and Misira play their home games at the box bar. But again, nobody thought that Kunkujang Friends were going to come in their large numbers, in their hundreds and thousands, to come and support their team, and they outnumbered Misira inside the box bar. So that alone tells you that people are now beginning to follow the third division, and people are beginning to follow their teams. That was it on that day.
On Saturday. So who won on Saturday game? Yeah,
it was great. It was a very big game. Misira, who have been there for 3 consecutive years, came as overwhelming favorites. The pre-match build-up, they said it was now or never. They have been there. They are the oldest team in the division, and it's about time that they move to the second division. And they came in against Kunkujang Friends, who have been there for the first time in 5 or 6 years. They have never been in that position before, Kunkujang Friends. But somehow they are heroics in the groups, in the league format. They won almost all away games, and coupled with some points at home gathered, that was enough to take them to second. They came to the box bar with their crowd. They outnumbered Misira in terms of crowd. They gave Misira the ball, because their manager said it during the post-match interview that as they claim they are more experienced than us, we gave them the ball, we closed the spaces and closed them down. We could not score, although they had the best chance of the game.
Okay.
It could have been Kunkujang Friends. Okay. And again, it could have been 5-1 Misira, looking at the chances that Misira squandered. Okay. But it was not a game that was meant to be decided on 90 minutes. It was a game that was meant for 12 yards. That was why. Otherwise, all those chances, one of them would have found the back of the net. And somehow, Kunkujang Friends kept their nerves and went on. They were perfect on penalty spot. 5 out of 5. And Misira missed 1. So 5-4 Kunkujang, or 5-3 Kunkujang.
So Kunkujang went to the finals.
Yeah.
And now let's talk about the second semi-final on Sunday.
Yeah, it was the crowd, the atmosphere was absolutely first class, because it had to involve a team that uses the box bar now as their party zone, and that is Fonyi and Sibanor. We know, you and I know, in the West Coast zonals for the past 2 years, it has been Fonyi. Yeah. And there are people like coming to the box bar and enjoying their carnival. In the division again, it's the same thing. Last year they were beaten finalists against Balosar. In the second half, inside 35 seconds in the second half, they were 2-0 up, and somehow they lost it by 3 goals to 2. In the 95th minute, they were leading 3-2, and the last kick of the game, it was 3-3, and they went on penalty shootout and lost it. So that kind of gave them a psychological torture, a mental torture that this year nobody thought that they were going to come back. But they are a good team with the likes of Francis, with the likes of Idris Ajiba, with the likes of Mahrez, with the likes of the captain. And they have a very intelligent manager in the name of Ibrahim Kamara, who knows everything about West Coast, who has guided the team to the zonals for 2 years, in a row. The best that Fonyi can have is Ibrahim Kamara. So, when it was against Gambinos, most people said this is going to be the final. I did say that on Saturday at QTV that the most unfortunate part of this division is one of the best teams will not go to the final. And that was unfortunately for Gambinos. They are the team that will not go to the final. They are a brilliant team. On the artificial turf, they are no match. But you look at Sibanor, they are just great. And they have done a lot of their homework. Both teams have done a lot of their homework on each other coming into the game. But at the end, Sibanor took the lead in the 48th minute via Kujabi. And in the 91st minute again, it's like Sibanor will always concede at the box bar late on. In the 91st minute again, Sumare, who gave Gambinos the lead, the last minute goal at Sanyang, stepped up again to drag it to penalty shootout with a brilliant free kick. That was a wicked deflection and the goalkeeper had absolutely no chance. So it was 1-1 and Sibanor kept their nerves. They went to penalty shootout and won it 4-2. So that's why they have set a date, the 24th, to meet, Kunkujang friends to settle a score.
Well, to settle a score, so that means all the semi-final finished from a 12-yard post-penalty shootout. And now, on Saturday the 21st, at Boxbar Mini Stadium in Brikama at 4:30, is the grand final between Sibanor and, of course, Kunkujang Friends. Well, it's interesting that they play each other in the group stage, and now they are playing the final. Okay, the final is scheduled for Saturday. Ask Steve, what do you have the information regarding this final, the preparation, anything that my viewers should know on Saturday to entice them to be at Boxbar on Saturday? What is the whole information about the finals?
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. You look at the two teams, and what they have done this year is just remarkable. Especially Kunkujang Friends, they are the dark horses of this season. At the beginning when the draws were made in December, nobody would have tipped them to go all the way, but here they are again. And on March day 1, when they traveled to Sibanor, in fact, as they were traveling, everybody would have expected that they were going to come home, with no point and conceding as many goals as Sibanor wanted. But that never happened. They went there and stunned Sibanor. From there, they have beaten everybody. They've beaten all the big boys of the tournament, of the league. They've beaten Desayus. They've beaten Misira. They've beaten Sibanor. You look at all that and all that put in place and the type of football they are playing, the brand of football. Their manager is somebody who is very experienced and very young. Very young. The youngest manager in the third division is from Kunkujang, that is Modu Jan, and all what he has put in place for them. And you look at 2025 again, the reason why we should not miss this 2025 thing. This final at the Boxbar. You look at 2025, what it has done for all the first timers in football. 119 years, Palace have never won a trophy, and they did. Tottenham Hotspur, you have to go all the way for 54 plus years before they won a European league, a European trophy. They won 17 years in their lives. Bologna had to go for 8 decades, without winning. Newcastle for 79 years without winning. Rio Eve in Portugal also for 84 years without winning.
Wow.
You put all these things together. In Greece, in 2024, Greece beat Portugal in the first game and they beat them in the last game. So that is Kunkujang for you.
Okay.
You put all those things together, you attach them together, you Kunkujang might say, this is our year. This is the learning point, and it's 2025. We have never been there, so this is it, and that is the reason why they got to believe. Their people got to believe, because from here they have to go. If anybody who wins this will be the standard bearer of West Coast to go to the second division and climb and never come back to our third division, because that's the ultimate goal. That if you go to the playoffs, don't come back. Just go on.
Just go and qualify.
Just go and never come back.
Exactly.
That is Kunkujang Friends for you. You look at Sibanor. they've done something that nobody did. Last year, from 12 months ago, they learned a bitter lesson. They left the box bar with tears running cheeks, with disappointment, and everybody was thinking like, can they do it again? But they're here, they arrived there again with 23 points, 10 goals, just like they did last year. And again, you look at the weapons they have, the likes of Francis Gomez, the likes of Idrissa, Jiba, although he will not be in the final, the likes of Abdullahi, Abdullahi Tamba and all these all these great players, Mahrez and the manager himself, Ibrahim Kamara, has done a lot of homework on his team, and he did say, let Kunkujam friends understand that for them they have been there before, so they are there again, so they have the experience. But the reason why everybody should not miss this final is, Sibanor have warned Kunkujam friends that they are experienced in terms of final, but Kunkujam friends have beaten a team in the semi-final that has been there for 3 years and they have never been there. So that is where this game is. You look at this side, you say, I think Sibano have a chance. You look at it at the other end, you think Kungujam friends also might fancy their chances. And when you put it on a table, Kunkujang friends have never played a final there. They have a point to prove. Ibrahim Kamara and Sibanor and West Coast, he has played for the past 12 months or for the past 18 months or for the past 24 months. He has played 4 finals at the box bar. He has lost 2, he has won 2. And each of the 2 that he lost, he was the home team. Each of the 2 he won, he was the away team. So basically, each time Ibrahim Kamara has gone to the box bar to play a final and he's the away side, he has won the trophy. And this time on Saturday, they are the away side. Can Kunkuja make sure that they put a stop to that? It's $1 million question.
What in the group stage, what was the score?
Yeah, 1-0 Kunkujam friends.
Kunkujam friends.
Yeah, they can do a Greece as well. Okay. Beat Portugal in the opener and beat them in the final.
All right,
so all these things put in place. This is why nobody can afford to miss it, because you pay $100 or $200 for the VIP to go watch the game, and whatever happens, you can beat your chest and say, I was there and history was written. Because no matter what happens, no matter who wins this, there is going to be history. There is. And you look at the fan base, Foley will storm the box bar. They will pour in.
No matter what
happens. Yeah. Because that's their home. That's what they like doing. They enjoy coming to the box bar on big occasions. The question now is, can Modu Jan and Kunkujam friends go and outnumber Sibano, just like they did against Misira?
No, they will repeat. I'm sure they will.
And beat them. So that is it.
Jarra, the preparation aspect. Give us the time, the ticket, and the preparation aspect of it.
Massive. Right now we are on this media tour. Yesterday you took us somewhere. This morning we went somewhere, and here we are just to show the public that there is going to be a massive game. And you look at the preparations. Just yesterday, we visited the Brikama Area Council, and the council, of course, the chairman gave us his words that he will be there, because this is about the youth. It's about taking ownership, talking about the community and ownership. Okay. And the council believes that they have a say when it comes to youth development, when it comes to sports, and when it comes to giving their part of this. So that tells you that there are a lot of underground works that are going on, and in just like in every final, medals, gold medals will definitely be available, and they are already available for the winners, and the silver medals will also be available for the runners up, and a giant silverware. So yeah, and you look at in terms of the box bar is going to be the ground, and a lot of the preparations are going on. Seats will be the box bar will be decorated, without a doubt. And you come that day, already we know the box bar is a great place, but the organizing committee is ready to paint it better, even though the teams will be coming with their colors here and there. But again, the organizing committee will definitely, no doubt, be ready to make sure that they give us a very good atmosphere come that day, Big Sam.
That is it. Remember, the grand final of the West Coast Region Football Association Third Division qualifiers is on Saturday the 21st at Boxbar Ministerial for 30 onwards. And remember, it's Sibanor United and Kunkujang Friends. As the media officer, you are here on this platform, a special Sport 360. What is the most important message you have to people, or you are here. What will be your message to the people regarding this final?
Yeah, come out and watch. Just come out and watch in your large numbers because, I mean, you look at it at the end of the day, one thing's for sure is that there's going to be hands on silverware and history is going to be written. But again, you look at these two teams, they come from communities where people support them, people follow them. The neutrals as well, you look at what the two teams have done. I think it's important for people to come out in their large numbers, and storm the box bar as always and watch the games. I know, the tickets are $100 is, others might tell you it's expensive. Others will tell you, looking at all what is put on the table, looking at what is at stake, $100 is reasonable and is affordable on the day because of we have two outstanding teams that are going to play. But again, one thing's for sure that we should understand that one team, we're going to the box bar, one team is going to lose it and one team is going to win. And whosoever wins it, at the end of the day, the ultimate goal is we will all rally behind that team to make sure that in their quest to go to the second division, they move on and go into the second division and never come back. Again, fans should understand that, no matter what happens, one team is not going to be lucky and another team is going to be lucky. But again, reaching the final alone is just great. So we are urging them to come out. Sibanor and Kunkujang friends, there is a score to settle and there is an almighty game and a lot of things at stake. So they don't have to miss it. They have to rush to come to the box bar on Saturday.
You don't have to miss it. I don't have to miss it. It's going to be on Saturday. Remember, this Saturday coming 24th at Box Bar Mini Stadium is the final. And I hope as Fonistrom Brikama Mini Stadium, Kunkujang also and the surrounding Costa will also storm the place. Jarra, this is what we have for you. Finally, before we go.
Yeah, it has been amazing. It has been amazing. I think, we are overwhelmed, like I said during the introductory remarks. This is not the time for this program, and even though it was late, the communique was done late, but you have still managed to give us this precious time. We feel not about the 90 minutes. This is the most important part of this final, that is the preparation to make sure that the people are aware of what is going on Saturday. But you've given us it, and we're saying definitely we cannot pay you, and this is just great, and we're looking for many of this in time to come, especially when it comes to third division in general, because of the publicity. We feel that it's about time that we do well in terms of publicity.
Thank you very much, Lamin Jarra, aka Steve, and that is the special Sport 360 special, and this is been given to you because a great final in the West Coast region, organized by West Coast Region, RFA, that is Regional Football Association. The grand finale of the third division is on Saturday 24th. As Sibanor, who were there last year on the final, will play against Kunkujang Friends at the Box Bar Mini Stadium. That's the rendezvous. From me, big Sam, big thanks to Ali right here, named Edu, and of course the studio head out there, Matar, and our viewers out there. On that note, thank you so much and keep on sporting. It's a rendezvous. Atlantic fofu nonu naka professional anything li ngeen ñul ci walum xarañ ñom ñoo fi gëna ak quality professional standard recording studio mu fa fofu nonu bokay pour sen voice record ya xamne artist nga buga nga ñoo nga record lepang fa live band instrumental records la lepang fa mix ak master a lepp li nga sola danaka ñu ngi ubbi bes bu nekk bu len faté tamit am nañ sound system bu mag di Atlantic Sound International pour lepp li ngeen sola sen ciéti sen genté yi open events am na ci togu ak stage concert yamu ci lol Atlantic TV ñu ngi fofu nonu naka pour sen live coverage video shooting la photo shoot manam printing ak lepp li nga soxla dal ci télévision di def ñu ngi leen ko defal yegal ñu tay su tanka di sey ci farato manam dendo farato juma bi mi te nga téléphone 3690787